In the tumultuous landscape of their lives, Satya emerges as a stalwart protector, fiercely devoted to her family. As an elder sister, her role transcends mere siblinghood. She serves as the bedrock for her family, focusing on ensuring their happiness and security. Satya shares a profound connection with her younger brother, Ankur, whose sensitivity and ambition to leave a mark on the world deepen their bond, creating a shared history that intertwines love and loss. Satya's strength is put to the test early on when she defends Ankur from school bullies. Her fierce declaration, "Tell me who hurt you, and I'll make them pay," reflects her protective nature, full of both ferocity and warmth. This intensity underscores her commitment to safeguarding her loved ones, positioning her as a formidable presence in their chaotic lives. However, the narrative exposes a fractured family dynamic, marked by tragedy and strained relationships, highlighting that Satya's role extends beyond that of an older sister. She is the resilient glue attempting to hold together a family on the verge of collapse. During a family wedding, the complexities of loyalty and love surface when her cousin Nakul confides his yearning for Kavita, a girl tied to a notorious criminal family. With Kavita pregnant and Nakul desperate to escape, Satya faces a moral dilemma. Balancing Nakul's heartache and Kavita's safety, she pragmatically persuades him against eloping, understanding that such a choice could lead to devastating repercussions for them both. Though her decision shatters Nakul's dreams, it ultimately preserves lives, showcasing the heavy toll of her protective instincts. Meanwhile, Ankur aspires to showcase his innovative tech concept, and with Satya's encouragement, he presents it to a powerful businessman, Mr. Murtney. The meeting yields promising results, as Ankur envisions a bright future. However, this hope is quickly overshadowed when Ankur's best friend, Kabir, a reckless and indulgent youth, leads him down a perilous path. Persuaded by Kabir, Ankur embarks on a reckless trip to Hanshi Deo. A carefree adventure transforms into a nightmare when a night of reckless partying brings them unwanted attention from law enforcement. The discovery of drugs in their car leads to their arrest, plunging both young men into a dire situation in a nation with unforgiving drug laws. The narrative of Satya, Ankur, and their family intricately weaves themes of love, sacrifice, and the enduring struggle against both external and internal chaos, revealing the powerful bond that is tested but remains unbreakable. Returning home, Satya is devastated to learn of her brother Ankur's arrest. Taking immediate action, she confronts Mr. Murtney, who offers to leverage his influence to secure the release of one boy, Kabir, but at the dire cost of Ankur's life. Ankur is manipulated by Mr. Murtney's lawyer, Jaswant, into falsely confessing to a crime, with the promise that his sentence would be lightened. Betrayed and frightened, Ankur signs the confession, only to find that the punishment is death by electrocution. Satya, determined to save her brother, journeys to Hanshi Deo despite numerous obstacles. She navigates the complexities of an unfamiliar legal system, battles indifference from prison officials, and refuses to accept the grim circumstances. Upon finally reuniting with Ankur in prison, she finds him a mere shadow of his former self, overwhelmed by despair and resigned to his fate. Undeterred, Satya seeks support from NGOs and pleads with the government for clemency, fighting against the clock as legal and political challenges mount. Her devotion to her brother highlights an unbreakable bond, steeped in love and sacrifice, as they share memories that fuel her resolve. Flashbacks reveal their past, showcasing moments of Satya caring for Ankur after school fights, shielding him from their father, and guiding him through tumultuous teenage years. These recollections, although tinged with sorrow, strengthen Satya's determination to save him. In Hanshi Deo, Ankur struggles to maintain his sanity in the stark, high-tech prison designed to dehumanize its inmates. Marked by the purple shirt indicating death row status, he becomes a target for ridicule, further exacerbating his isolation and despair about the impending execution. Satya's relentless fight leads her into complex and murky waters, where she interacts with diplomats, NGO workers, and lawyers, each offering slim hope without tangible solutions. The laws in Hanshi Deo are unyielding, drug offenses are punishable by death, and presidential pardons are rarely granted. Faced with a disheartening reality, Satya is encouraged to prepare for the worst. However, surrender has never been her approach. Throughout her struggle, the narrative weaves a powerful testament to her love and determination, illustrating how the bonds forged through shared experiences of love and sacrifice can inspire resistance against seemingly insurmountable odds. Every step of Satya's journey underscores her unwavering commitment to Ankur, marking her fight as one of deep familial loyalty and unrelenting hope. As Satya navigates a complex legal labyrinth, she uncovers disturbing revelations about Kabir and the Murtney family. It becomes evident that despite Kabir's known history of drug abuse and reckless conduct, these issues were cloaked by his father's wealth and influence. The Murtney family fabricated Ankur's confession to shield Kabir, sacrificing an innocent life for their own interests. This betrayal profoundly impacts Satya, fueling her determination to expose their wrongdoing. Her relentless quest for justice garners significant attention, resonating back home in India as media coverage and public outrage surge. Protests erupt, calling for government intervention to rescue Ankur, positioning Satya as a beacon of resilience for countless others victimized by the nexus of power and privilege. In Hanshi Deo prison, Ankur encounters Rayyan, a fellow inmate who becomes an unexpected ally. Rayyan, formerly an activist jailed for opposing the government, recognizes Ankur's potential and instills hope in him. He urges Ankur to maintain his humanity despite the grim circumstances, fostering a bond that temporarily alleviates Ankur's overwhelming despair. Following her brother's death, Satya's grief morphs into a fierce determination. Ankur's loss stirs her into action, turning her personal tragedy into a mission for societal change. Despite her heartbreak, she vows to ensure that the injustice does not fade into obscurity. She meticulously begins dismantling the web of deceit and corruption leading to Ankur's wrongful execution, transforming her sorrow into a powerful drive. Satya returns to India to confront a polarized society regarding her cause. While many rally behind her, others dismiss her as a solitary figure against an insurmountable establishment. Nevertheless, her resolve remains unshaken. Leverage gained from the spotlight on Ankur's case empowers her advocacy for reforms in India's policies concerning legal protections for citizens abroad. She calls for enhanced government accountability and an assertive diplomatic stance in cases involving Indian nationals ensnared in foreign legal battles. Aligning with NGOs, human rights advocates, and various activists sympathetic to her cause, Satya's indomitable spirit incites protests, petitions, and draws international focus. Her campaign, Justice for Ankur, evolves into a broader movement, representing not only her brother's plight but also that of countless individuals ensnared by systemic failures. This movement encapsulates the anguished cries of mothers, siblings, and families who have lost loved ones to negligence, corruption, and indifference. In this fight for justice, Satya becomes a vocal advocate for those silenced, highlighting the urgent need for systemic change. Is determined to confront the injustices faced by Ankur and others trapped in the corrupt system. As she walks through the grim prison, memories of Ankur flood her mind. She recalls his unwavering hope and the bond they formed, now overshadowed by the tragic circumstances of his imprisonment. Rayyan's story is a poignant reminder of the many individuals who suffer silently, their lives impacted by systemic corruption and malicious intent. Back in Hanshi Deo, Rayyan continues his daily struggle for survival, haunted by the memories of the friendship with Ankur. He represents the multitude of voices lost within the prison walls, their lives reduced to mere statistics in a flawed system. His reflections highlight the harsh reality for inmates like Ankur who are victims of grave injustices, while the world outside remains largely unaware. Satya's relentless pursuit of justice drives her to investigate the intricacies of Ankur's arrest. Through her tenacity, she unearths damning evidence indicating that the drugs implicated in Ankur's case were part of a larger smuggling operation linked to powerful figures in both Hanshi Deo and India. The Murtani family's extensive influence becomes clear, revealing a conspiracy involving local authorities who perpetuated the injustice against Ankur. With this critical information, she takes decisive action to hold the Murtanis accountable, aiming to ensure that Kabir, who previously evaded punishment, faces the repercussions of his actions. Despite facing threats and harassment, Satya becomes resolute in her mission. Opponents unleash media smear campaigns against her, but their intimidation only fuels her determination. In a moment of vulnerability, she expresses to a journalist the profound sense of responsibility she feels, not only for Ankur's memory but for the broader fight against systemic injustice. With her tireless advocacy, Satya begins to witness changes at a governmental level. The Indian government, responding to growing public outrage and international pressure, initiates reforms to protect citizens abroad and revises diplomatic protocols for quicker responses to unjust legal entanglements. Though these changes arrive too late to save Ankur, they represent a hard-fought victory for Satya and her allies, sparking hope for many other victims. In the film's poignant conclusion, Satya returns to Hanshi Deo for one last visit. Clutching the memories of Ankur and strengthened by her unwavering resolve, she is ready to honor his spirit by continuing the fight against the injustices that plague not only him but countless others still trapped in the web of corruption. If you enjoy watching this video, then subscribe to Angel Recaps for the latest movies explanation.